Okay, we're good. All right, so we're back. Okay, good. We're gonna keep on rolling here. Anyways, as I was saying, Epic History X-Men Volume 3, The Dark Phoenix Saga. It will be coming to a Vimeo on demand near you. We're trying to hit May 27th. We may hit June 1st. We'll see how it goes. It's kind of wild and crazy. So yeah, just hang in there with us. We'll keep you posted as we develop along. So let's get right into it. So we started off at the wall, and we have Jon Snow finally seeing his girl Sansa, and they're hanging out. And she was like, "Oh man, I'm such a bitch," and he was like, "No, you're not." And he should have totally been like, "Yeah, you were a bitch," because she totally was. I was a little like, how did he like recognize her? But whatever, maybe it's the red hair, I guess. And then, Brienne got to tell the Onion Knight and Melisandre that I killed your lord, bitches, which, she got her thing out, which was good. And, there was that. It wasn't anything. There wasn't a lot to talk about. Then we went over to the Vale. We finally see Robin. He's been being a poor little aspy kid, like in the Vale, trying to do some bows and arrows. That poor kid, I don't know what they're going to do with that kid, but, we'll see. Littlefinger returns. We haven't seen Littlefinger in a while. Who knows what all of the things that he's been up to. I was a little surprised at Royce for not being smart enough to not call that dude out, because that guy's crazy. So don't call that dude out, because he's super sneaky. You just need to poison Littlefinger or something. You can't open face battle that guy. But he got handled, and so now the Knights of the Vale, I guess, are going to head towards Winterfell and some stuff. So we'll see what happens there. Then we switch over to Meereen, where we have Tyrion trying his best. Yeah, diaper baby of the Vale for sure. We have Tyrion trying his best to, do some politicking. We saw him doing this in King's Landing, and, he's really great at trying to figure all these things out. And I really enjoyed seeing him trying to be a diplomat with these other cities. And I did really enjoy him saying, "No, will you stop the Sons of the Harpy stuff?" And they were like, "We didn't do that." And he's like, "All the same, just cut it out, whatever. Here's some ladies, get out of here, whatever." I thought that was really great. I was, obviously Tyrion's a lot different than Daenerys, the way he runs things, because he's more of a realist and less of an idealist. And so, he's obviously kind of a better politician, and he also has a lot more experience with doing these things. He grew up under his father, and he's done all these things. So, I'm excited to see him trying to figure things out. I wish that Melisandre and Grey Worm weren't giving him such a hard time. Or not Melisandre, whatever her name is. I can't think of it right now because my brain doesn't work. But sick brain. But yeah, I do like their new outfits though. Missandei, that's what it is. Grey Worm and Missandei. I do like their little black outfits that they have, and they're really cute this season. So let's see here. And then also too, I was I wanted Tyrion to just be like, "Dude, how many cities have you guys run? Come on, give me a break." It's what is this? Anyways. All right. So then we cut to Jorah and Daario, and they have found, they've advised Dothrak now. And, Dario's got to put that sword away, and Daario doesn't want to put his little swords away. And then I got to go in there. And I was like, why don't you guys try to blend in a little more? I don't know, steal some merchant's clothes or something, and dress up, or they didn't even try. They weren't even trying. I was like, come on, they're gonna know you're not merchants, and they didn't. But we'll get back into that in a minute. And then we finally we go back to King's Landing. We have Marjorie, and she is talking to the High Sparrow. And I love that Marjorie is she's got so much, she will not give up, man. She is just going to play this game to the end. But the High Sparrow, he totally handles her like he's been handling everybody else, because he's a highly, highly manipulative person. And he knew that, the only thing that she really cares about is her brother. That is her weak point, is her brother. And he has already broken her brother. So, in order to break her, he had to show her Loras. So it's he makes it look like, "Oh, I'm doing a nice thing for you by letting you see your brother because that's what you're asking for." But really what he's doing is breaking Marjorie by letting her see how broken her brother is. And now she's agreed to take the Walk of Atonement, which, the Queen of Thorns is not happy about, and she is not going to let her grandbaby do that. So we'll see how that shapes up. That's going to be a mess. So then we go over to Pike, and we have Theon showing up, and Yara is like, why did you come here? And I'm thinking the same thing. I'm just like, why did you come here? Like, no, like, first of all, that place sucks. And you don't like it, and nobody likes you there. But I guess he's going to back up his sister for her King's Moot situation. And since he is the heir apparent, hopefully maybe lending his support will help her cause, but we'll see. I don't want to give you any spoilers. I know who wins the King's Moot in the books, so I'll just keep it to myself. And a lot of people out there don't want to hear about the books anyways. I get a lot of flack for that. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about the books anymore, guys. I don't know. You tell me, should I talk about the books? Because I think that like the source material is, it's your Bible. Like, I think it's important to know where you're coming from in order to, like, that's how I criticize the show, is based, a lot on that, and also many other things. But I think that's important. Maybe that's personal opinion, but whatever. I think mainly it's just because people who don't read the books are like, think that like I feel like I'm better than them because I read the books or something. And like I actually do kind of feel like that, yeah, because I've actually read the books, like, and that's a really big investment of my time. So like I've invested way more in this than you have. So yeah, like shut up. Anyways. So all right, let's go back to Winterfell. Yeah, we got that horrible scene where he just kills Osha, and he just stabs her and then it's over. And then I was just like, what's the point of that? Just more evil Ramsay business. Ooh, he's so evil and he gets everything and he's never punished for anything and everything always goes his way. And it's just like, all right, you're setting him up. I get it that he's like a replacement Joffrey, but Joffrey was way better. Like Joffrey was so much better. Like Ramsay is just, he's for me personally, he's just too evil. Like nobody's that evil, like, and if you are, you wouldn't be smiling about, I don't know, like you'd be like messed up in a dungeon, or yeah, somebody would have killed him. Like, I don't know why these people, like he's the only Bolton. Why aren't we killing him? Like, I don't see any other motherfucking Boltons running around. Like, what's the problem? Like, take him out, Karstarks, take him out, Umbers, anybody. They have Rickon. I mean, maybe the Rickon thing might be a ploy, but we'll see. I don't know yet. That's still shaping up. But come and see, if I can figure it out. So, okay, let's go back to the wall where we have, this is my favorite part, actually. This is like my favorite part of the show. Surprisingly, was not the finale, but was the budding romance between Tormund Giantsbane and Brienne of Tarth. Yes, Ramsay is a completely one-dimensional villain. Yes, like I really want to see Brienne and Tormund get down. I mean, this is totally like, okay, here, I have to be like completely honest with you guys. Game of Thrones has turned into Game of Thrones fan fiction. All right. Like this show is like fan fiction. So it's like, whatever, let's just go with the fan fiction thing. And in my fan fiction world, I would like to see Tormund and Brienne get it on, like I think that they would be a great couple. We'll see how it goes. Although, Brienne tends to like the more femmy guys because she's a masculine girl. So like that, she needs that balance, so I don't know if she's going to be into Tormund. But Tormund is definitely into her with them eyes that he was giving her over the table. And then she was like, what the fuck? Like, she doesn't even know what to do when a man looks at her because a man has never looked at her like that, But maybe she'll take the bait. Maybe she's like, hey, man, I'm tired of being a virgin. This guy is like, he's cool, whatever. And, he was talking to Jon about his lovemaking skills a few seasons ago, about how you need to get a lady good and ready, slick as a baby seal before you fucking go in there. And like, that's good advice. Like, I think that he sounds like a great lover. So I think that Brienne should go for it. I think that they would be a really cute couple together. And we'll see how that goes. It's really interesting on the wall, seeing how we have Jon Snow, and now you have Melisandre, who's kind of pledging to follow him. The Onion Knight, it'll be interesting to see what he does. I mean, I assume that he's also going to follow Jon because Jon is like, in the ways that Stannis was, he's a better Stannis, like everyone, Jon's is like better, cooler dude to follow, even though Jon's like, don't follow me. It's going to happen. So we'll see. I think that that whole situation is shaping up to very much be, Jon leading the wildlings with the help of Melisandre and the Onion Knight and Sansa, and they're all going to go down there and they're all going to murder Ramsay. I will say that I do hope that Sansa does the killing blow or something. I hope that she finally does something. It would be nice, but I mean, I doubt I'll see that because she has been portrayed as such a weak character within the show. So it's like, we'll see. But I'd like to see Sansa do something. It'd be cool to see Sansa do something. Okay, so let's get into the big finale. The big finale. So we have back to the Vice Dothrak. Dario and a homeboy are trying to like sneak in there, and then they get caught, and then they kill these dudes, and then they have to like hide the dudes, and it's this whole mess. And then Daenerys like runs into them when she's going to go pee with that other girl. I did like how she was talking about those smelly old ladies. That was funny. She was like trying to get that girl on her side, and I was like, yeah, that's what I would do. I'd be like, insult those ladies and then get her on your side. That's good. It's a good plan. Talking shit amongst women is an art form. So that was fun. And I did enjoy that she was like, oh, guys, I got a plan. Like, don't worry about it. And, I was complaining earlier about how Daenerys is always going around telling people, I'm Daenerys Stormborn, last of my name, mother of dragons, the unburnt, blah, 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 blah. And she's always listing off all these things, and people always kind of spit it back in her face. But this is the one instance where they should have listened, they should have listened to that unburnt part. Like, they just kind of like didn't think about that, And the way that the fucking burning down this hut with all those dudes in it, it was so sick. It was so sick. It was so nice to see Daenerys finally do something awesome, because she may not be a great politician. She may not be an amazing diplomat, but she's a very inspiring ideal. I mean, she's a great like leader in that respect. She inspires people and is like, holy shit, this lady's crazy. And I love that, that whole thing, like in Vice Dothrak, you can't spill blood, or anything like that. Like, you can kill somebody, but you can't like spill their blood, And so she has this ingenious way of like, well, they're burned. Like, I didn't spill any blood here. You can't get mad at me. And she killed all their cows. So now she's the cow because, she killed their cows. So, that was really super dope. Super, super dope. The only thing though that I was kind of like, oh goodness, like I had this reaction to seeing this scene because I was wondering, like, is this scene going to be a spoiler for Winds of Winter? Like, is this scene going to be a spoiler for Winds of Winter? We're going to put up a poll. You let us know. What do you think? I'm definitely curious to know if the TV writers came up with this or if this is something that George R. R. Martin had given them, because I know that I had heard through the grapevine that, George R. R. Martin was working with them. And even though they were changing things from the books, he was still giving them certain things. So, I mean, I can't wait till Winds of Winter comes out to kind of find out. But like, it did kind of make me kind of scared to watch the rest of the show because I don't want to spoil Winds of Winter for myself because I do really love the book series. Like, that's where my heart is. Like, I love these books. That's why I'm watching the show. I'm not watching the show because I like the show. I'm watching the show because I love these books and I love George R. R. Martin's writings. And I kind of don't want to spoil anything for myself because, like, I don't know, like, I want to be surprised when I'm reading it. I just have so much enjoyment. I don't want to lessen my enjoyment of the book that I've been waiting for like years and years. And, also, side note, George R. R. Martin, take your time. I will wait as long as you need me to wait for Winds of Winter. I am not going to be a jerk to you about it. Like, you take your time to make it as best as you can make it and do whatever you need to do, my friend, because you can't rush good art, all right? Ooh, 50-50. I know. It could go either way. Like, I guess we'll find out if this is a Winds of Winter spoiler or not. And let's see here. Oh, yeah. Also, let's just say big ups to Emilia Clarke for showing her tits again. Yay. Hey, were you guys excited that she showed her boobs again? Because I was. I had heard, a few seasons ago, she said, I'm not going to do nudity anymore, and she's like, I'm too big to do nudity, so I don't do it anymore. And like, I was a little disappointed. Would have been hard to do it without that. And yeah, she did it. Although I'm still a hater. I want her hair to get burned off. I'm still a hater. I think her hair should get burned off. But I'm into like bald chicks, That's what they did in the books. So, I mean, well, if you're in a fire, like even if you don't burn, your hair's going to burn, you know, it's like, that's totally different. So, I mean, it's from the books. Her hair burns off. It's realistic. That's the thing. Like, that's what I like about it, is that even though she is unburned, it's still realistic. Like, her hair still gets burned off, and like she's covered in soot, and like she looks crazy. So it's like, you know, that makes sense to me. It forgives like the magicalness of it. You know, it kind of mixes it with the mundane a little bit, which I think gives it a little bit more gravitas, personally. But yeah, it was an empowering nude scene. Like, it was awesome. She was just like, yeah, like, here I am, like, check it out. And everybody's like, oh shit, like, okay, you're the queen, like, you're the queen Khaleesi, you know. So it'll be interesting to see now that she has the entire Dothraki horde at her back, like the entire Dothraki horde at her, because she killed all of the cows, like all of them. So I guess maybe she'll ride them all over to Slaver's Bay and maybe like kick some ass again or something. I don't know. We'll see. And how is that going to mix with Tyrion's plans? You know, I mean, her coming back and doing more conquering, because that's the thing. Daenerys is great at conquering. Like, she's so good at conquering, but like she's not good at the rest of it, because like that shit's really hard. Like, management is this fucking skill, okay? And like that's what really being a ruler is about. Like, rulers, you think, oh, power, and you get to wear cool clothes and have feasts and like be the cool guy. But really, it's like, no, you got to manage a lot of people, and managing people is really difficult. Okay. Like, as somebody who produces content and like has to manage people personally, like and manage like an online, like bunch of people, you know, it's just like, it's a lot of work. It's not easy. And no one's ever taught her how to do any of that. You know, it's like, she doesn't have any experience with that. So, you know, we'll see. Maybe, maybe we'll temper it a little bit. We'll have, her idealism tempered with, Tyrion's diplomacy, and we can meet in the middle somewhere, and we can get rid of the slaves, I did like Tyrion's line to the slavers saying like, hey, bitches, we don't have slaves in Westeros, and I'm fucking way more rich than you assholes. I was like, well, they couldn't argue with that. Like, I thought that was pretty great. Like, that was a really great line. But yeah, Alexandria, yeah, she is coming for those slavers. She's coming for those slavers. We'll see how that works out. So yeah, that's about it for Game of Thrones today. Let's take some questions, you guys. Like, we're gonna have start typing in your little questions, and then Rich, our guy over there, he's gonna highlight some for us, and then we'll talk about it. But in the meantime, while you guys are doing your questions, I would like to talk about the Saturday Night Live sketch of Jon Snow's death. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Explain it. What was it?
Okay, so Saturday Night Live did a sketch about the Jon Snow's death and how they just like kept cutting to him being dead on the slab and like making fun of just like how much time they were wasting in episode 3. I mean, it's just like the biggest time wasting episode, or 2, or whatever fucking episode it was. It was so funny. I loved how like the little ladies in the corner were like, can you hurry it up? We know he's coming back. Like, just hurry it up. And like, that's exactly how I felt. I was just like, just get it over with, like, get it done with. I thought that was a really great social commentary. Good job, Saturday Night Live. You totally nailed it. So let's get into some questions. Here we go. Do you want the books and the show to end in 2 different ways? Absolutely, Daniel. Absolutely, I do. Because like I said, I love the books more. So I'd rather like experience this story through the books. And that's where I started with this series. Is like I started reading the books in like college. Like a college boyfriend recommended them to me. And he was like, hey, I know you don't like fantasy books. I didn't like, it's not like I didn't like them. I just never really read any. And he was like, there's these hot twins that have sex. And I was like, oh, I'm in. So, because I'm a weirdo and I like weird stuff. Forbidden passions are always hot to read about. So yeah. And then, and from there, I read all the books. I was like such a big fan. And then I heard they were going to do a show of it. And I was like so nervous. I was like, fuck, I'm really gonna do this fucking show, I was like really worried about it. And then the first season came out and I was like, holy fuck, they nailed it. Like, I was so excited, and then so it's like, I just want to like the books, like, let's, we'll see. All right, Selena, do you think it could be possible that Mira is John's twin sister? I have not put that together. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. No. While we were looking for another question, I do have another point that I've been thinking about with Game of Thrones, which is, why did they rush through all the books so fast?
Good point.
You know, why did they rush through these books so fast? There's so much more material and there's like so many more characters that you could have put in there. And they, you know, I remember them saying, oh, we can't have strong Belwas, which is a part of Danny's entourage, who's like a really cool, awesome dude. We can't have this character, we can't have that character because we don't have time. But it's like, well, why are you like trying to fit a whole book in one season in 10 episodes? Like, why didn't they stretch it out where like you could have totally made, you know, 2 seasons out of each book easily, like, and it would have been great. I think that they kind of forced it a little bit, and I know that they didn't know that it was going to be as popular as it is. So like they were trying to kind of fit everything in at first, you know, because you know it may not go anywhere and whatever. You know, I understand that aspect of it, but once they saw the popularity of it, I felt like maybe they could have slowed down a lot more and like, you know, we wouldn't be kind of in this predicament that we're in now because they should have known that George R. R. Martin doesn't write fast and that he's not going to have their fucking book out in time. And like, it's just, they're going to catch up. Like it's just going to happen. So yeah, that's, I don't know. I think they should have done that. So Brandon, exactly how big is the Dothraki horde enough to take Westeros? I don't know exactly how big they are, but I doubt they could take like all of Westeros. I mean, they could take like maybe King's Landing, and I mean that's all you need to take. You know, it's like if you take the throne, you know, then you're it. So like, I think that a Dothraki horde, if they could get them in boats and get them across the sea, which is going to be a real big problem because those assholes do not want to get on a boat. Okay, they are like fuck water, you can't drink it. I don't want to be a part of it. Fuck that shit. And you know, and the horses. I mean, that's a lot of like horses. You're gonna have horses all over these boats. That's a lot of horses on a lot of boats. You know, that's a lot of horse shit to shovel out while you're in the middle of a storm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but I think it's possible though. I mean, it is possible, especially with under Dany's inspiring leadership. You know, I mean, under her, you know, crazy shit. Like she might be able to convince them to do some shit that they've never done before, which would be pretty awesome. So Daenerys's army continues to grow. Okay, so she had the Dothraki horde. She goes over to Slaver's Bay, and then takes them out, and then gets her Unsullied back too. I mean, if you have the Unsullied and a Dothraki horde at your back, and a Tyrion, and dragons, it seems like a no-brainer. You know, it seems like a no-brainer. And you know, I would like to see Daenerys and fucking Tyrion just like kill it and like hook it up. And which house would I be a member of? Last question today, Muhammad. Well, you know, I have a Lannister tattoo right here. I got it before the show. I didn't know, you know, like I'm not that I regret it, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little less cool now because it's like I was trying to get shit that like people didn't know about. But it says Lannister over the top of it very, very lightly. And not that I come from a rich family. I sure don't. But I do come from an asshole family. So, and I do feel a lot like Tyrion in my life. I'm very much a black sheep within my family. So, yeah, I'm definitely part of the old Lannister clan, for better, for worse. You know, there we go. And just like Tyrion, I've run away as well. I've run away to the West Coast and I just do my thing out here. And like, you guys can fucking hang out. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Yes. So, okay. So yes. All right. And Lannisters are very ambitious, and I am ambitious. I'm a Slytherin. Okay. Like I've taken the Pottermore quiz more than a few times. And I always come out Slytherin. It's just a fact, you know. That's what I'm going to take over Hollywood. Like you think that I don't like? You don't think I'm playing Game of Thrones out here in Hollywood? You don't think that's what this whole fucking thing is out here? Like this shit's crazy, especially in new media. It's like this fucking Wild West out here. People are making the rules. Okay, it's fucking nuts. And like that's why I love Game of Thrones in the books because it's taught me so much about like political maneuvering and like how to like take over shit and conquer. It's the whole thing, man. So let me wrap it up. We'll wrap it up with Game of Thrones today. So yes. So just a reminder, Epic History X-Men Volume 3, The Dark Phoenix Saga. It is a 1-hour X-Men documentary. It'll be coming out on Vimeo on demand at the end of this month. We'll keep you posted on the dates. Here's our super awesome poster that I put together yesterday. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, so if you want to learn about the real X-Men and you don't want to go give your money to that crap X-Men that's going to come out, that's not going to be the X-Men, because like I don't even have to see it to tell you that it's not right. Okay, it's in the box. Come on, Come on. Come on. No. Instead of spending a bunch of money on a turd, you could spend a lot less money on something that's actually cool, that's actually talking about the real stories, and you can learn about it and you can get excited about it, and maybe it'll make you want to go read an X-Men comic, and you'll be really excited about it. Chris Claremont era is super awesome, and you won't be disappointed. So up next, we're also going to be doing a